13 years, 22 games, and over 155 million copies sold. Few franchises can rival the scope and scale of Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft's flagship franchise has become the template for open-world games, received countless awards for its story and gameplay, faced criticism for its yearly release schedule, and reached infamy for its numerous bugs. Today on Game Files, we're going to look at the history of one of the biggest franchises in modern gaming, and it begins with a bad idea for a completely different series. Assassin's Creed's origins lie in ideas for a Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time sequel. The proposed game was called Prince of Persia: Assassin, and would have had players playing as an assassin who guards the non-playable prince of the title. That would have made the game the world's longest escort mission, and so the idea was scrapped. But Ubisoft developers loved the idea of the Order of Assassins and decided to create a new IP about them. What they came up with would serve as the basis for an entire franchise. In short, Assassin's Creed revolves around the conflict between the Assassin and Templar orders, who have fought for control of humanity for thousands of years. In each game, you play as someone in the modern day experiencing the past through the Animus, a device that lets people live through genetic memories. You explore historical settings, meet historical characters, and generally kill a lot of people to save the world from tyranny. The first Assassin's Creed was set in the Third Crusade in the 12th century and featured modern-day man Desmond Miles reliving his ancestors Altair's memory. It was positively received for its visuals and story, but criticized for its repetitive gameplay. The first Assassin's Creed did not show any signs that it would become the blockbuster franchise it would be today. True success didn't follow until Assassin's Creed 2. Work started immediately on the sequel, with the setting shifting to 15th century Renaissance Italy and the protagonist switching to Ezio Auditore. Parkour became a major part of the gameplay, and fears of repetition were avoided with an open world filled with side activities and treasure to collect. The change paid off, as 2009's Assassin's Creed 2 became arguably the most popular entry in the series and is regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time. The next 6 years saw a new Assassin's Creed release every year. These included 2 sequels following Ezio's life, A Journey to the American Revolution, Pirating in the Caribbean, Fighting in Revolutionary France, and Being British in a Victorian London. Some were better than others. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag helped launch the 7th console generation, while Assassin's Creed Unity is best known for this phase. Ubisoft also released multiple spin-offs in this period. These included smaller-scale open-world games like Liberation, side-scrolling platformers like the Chronicles series, and a bunch of games for phones. Yet, as time went on, interest in the series waned. They still sold millions of copies, these are AAA games after all, but there weren't enough changes to the games themselves, and players complained. And so in 2016, Ubisoft didn't release an Assassin's Creed game for the first time in years. That didn't mean the series took a break that year. On the contrary, a film adaptation starring Michael Fassbender hit theaters. It was set in both present day and in 15th century Spain, though there were far more scenes of the former. Being a video game adaptation, I'll give you one guess as to the quality of the film. Hint, it's not good. Fortunately, that wasn't the case for Assassin's Creed's return in 2017. Origins is an action RPG set in ancient Egypt. Following the origins of the Assassin Order, the game became a huge hit, reigniting interest in the franchise and setting a new template for the series to follow. A follow-up, Odyssey, was released 1 year later, raising fears that the series would go back to an annual schedule. That turned out not to be the case, as the next game only launched this year. Assassin's Creed Valhalla once again follows the formula set by Origins, only this time you play as Viking. And just like Black Flag, Valhalla is launching at the start of a new console generation. It's easily the biggest third-party launch game for both the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. In other words, Assassin's Creed shows no sign of slowing its momentum anytime soon.